Hey there, Tori Halliwell here, coming live today with the topic of being positive and how being positive, it's both a mindset and it's about embracing the negative. So hopefully I just piqued your interest a little bit right there with that. So before I jump into talking about positivity and the mindset behind it, I just want to introduce myself real quick because I have people every week, new people joining my Facebook page and my regular timeline, checking out these videos. So for those of you who are new, welcome. My name is Tori and I'm a personal time and energy strategist. And what I do is that I help everyday people, professionals and non-professionals, I help them boost their energy, maximize their time, simplify their life so they can do more of what they love. I'm all about that work-life balance. So if you need help in any of those areas of your life and you're struggling, please reach out. I would love to connect. But today we are talking about positivity, and this idea actually came to me because a couple weeks ago someone complimented me and described me as a very positive and upbeat person. They said that I was naturally positive, and this compliment, it struck me because yes, I view myself as a positive person. I'm someone who has a lot of high level energy. But here's the thing, it is a choice, it's a mindset, and it's taken me a lot of practice to show up positively day in and day out. And so through that practice, like everything, it comes naturally to me. And so I really want to talk about this positive mindset, and there's kind of two parts to this positivity. There's the mindset aspect, and then there's also the embracing the negative aspect. So I'm going to talk about these 2 points, and then I'm going to give you a really personal example, and hopefully it just allows you to connect with this information a little bit more deeply. So here's the thing, we know life is freaking hard, right? Adulting is hard. There are good days and then there are really bad days. There are ongoing challenges, struggles, and problems that constantly need to be solved. It's never ending, right? And so knowing that life is kind of that battle day in and day out, there are different ways that you can show up to face that battle. And the first thing is that, here's the thing, to be a positive person, it also involves embracing and accepting those negative emotions. And the negative emotions, for lack of a better word, that's what I came up with, but that's, embracing those moments in your life of sadness, of frustration, of worry, of concern, of being freaked out or scared or pissed, whatever that is, being able to give yourself the space and also the self-compassion to really allow yourself to feel those emotions. And then being able, once you kind of allow yourself to sit and reflect on those emotions, to be able to move out of them and not to dwell on them. And this is the difference, right? Those of you or those of us who struggle with being positive, who struggle with having that optimistic, glass half full mindset, is you stay in those emotions. You don't know how to work yourself out of those emotions of the negativity, the sadness, the frustration, the worry, the concern, whatever. And so feeling those emotions allows you, when you're done with them, when you're done dwelling in them, you're ready to move into action. You're ready to figure out the solution to the problem. You're ready to tackle the challenge. You're ready to move forward and learn from the opportunity to make a change, whatever it is that you want to do. But so you have to experience those negative emotions to then move into positive reaction or action. And here's the thing, for people who say they're constantly positive all the time, something is wrong, right? Because if you're never ever experiencing some of those more negative emotions, then you are in life denial. And you're not struggling or facing the problems that are in your life. You're denying them and pushing them aside and just choosing to be positive without dealing with them. So that's why it's important to embrace the negative emotions, but not dwell in them, and then use them as those negative emotions as a motivator to move into action. And that's where that's part 2, the positivity mindset comes into play. It's, all right, I want to solve this problem. I want to tackle this challenge, and I'm going to do it with a positive mindset. And it's all about showing up. It's a choice. It's showing up with positivity. Who can I connect with? How can I ask for help? What's a way that I can learn from this opportunity? What is the forward direction, first step I can take moving in a positive direction? So positivity, it's all about choosing to show up that way, choosing to react and respond in a certain way that's going to be beneficial to you. It's going to give you that boost of energy that you need to figure out however it is you want to show up without draining you and your resources. And so showing up with a positive mindset, sometimes you got to fake it till you make it. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes you need to say, okay, I'm going to choose to address this problem head on. I'm going to do it in a positive way. Even if you aren't feeling that in the moment, just saying it out loud, choosing to show up that way, faking it till you make it, will help move you forward and help you tackle those goals and problem solve whatever it is, whatever problem you are facing. So I'm going to give you a really personal example of this two-step process in positivity. First, embracing the negative, and then choosing the mindset of I'm going to show up positively, I'm going to make the most of the situation. This is a personal example. A couple years ago, my mom was diagnosed with stage 1 breast cancer. And luckily, I'm going to say right now, she is totally fine. She is so healthy. But as you can imagine, and for those of you who have struggled if you personally or people that you're close with have struggled with diseases like this, you know that the first reaction when you get that news is, of course, fear and concern and worry and stress, like what's going to happen. And for my mom, she was scared. Of course she was scared. It was stage 1, so she knew that she was going to be okay, but it's still very scary. She was scared about what was going to happen to her body. She was scared about the procedures, the chemo, the radiation. She was scared about the genetics, what it passed to me. And so there was a lot of fear associated with it. And she allowed herself to be scared and sad and upset. And then she decided, once she had that plan, when she knew there was nothing she could do but fight it, to go through the motions of removing the cancer, going to chemo, seeing the doctors, relying on her friends and family for help and support through this process, she decided she was going to show up in the best way possible. She was going to make the best of the situation at hand. She wasn't going to let it bring her down. She was going to remain as positive and as upbeat as possible when facing this situation. And so she gave herself that space and that self-compassion to be freaked out, right? Cancer is a scary thing. So she gave herself that space when she needed it, but she didn't dwell on it. And then she decided, okay, it's going to be positive mindset. She was grateful that she was in Boston, had great medical care. She was grateful for her friends and her family who offered support. And she knew that when she was struggling, when she was going to have those moments, that she could reach out to them. And then she did. And so she decided, I'm going to make the most of this situation at hand. I'm going to educate others. I'm going to join support groups. She ended up being part of a program afterwards where she was able to contribute to ongoing research. So she took this experience that was scary and really challenging, and she turned it into a positive experience and adventure for herself. And that was all about her choosing to show up with this horrible situation, choosing to tackle it head on with a positive attitude. And it really did help to boost her spirit. It helped her connect with other people who were struggling. It helped her be empathetic to others, and allowed her to practice self-compassion, and it allowed her friends and family to be there to support her through the journey. So that was a very personal example, because I think it's really important for you as you think about how you want to show up in your life, in and outside of the workplace, in and outside your relationships. Just how do you want to show up? How do you want to approach and tackle all of life's challenges and struggles and obstacles that's going to throw your way, because we know it's going to happen. So remember to give yourself the space and the self-compassion to embrace those feelings of sadness and anger and frustration, but don't dwell on them, and use it as a motivator to then step into that positive mindset. How can I problem solve? What can I learn? How can I pay it forward? Who can I ask for help? Who can I turn to? And just make the most of the situation. And with practice, it will become natural. And then you'll have people saying to you, hey, I really enjoy talking to you. You're such a positive, upbeat, high energy person. And then you will know, hey, I've worked really hard for that compliment. And you're right, I am a really positive person. And it's all about choice. It's all about mindset. So that was this week's video for you, all about being positive, showing up, choice, mindset, and embracing the whole spectrum of emotions, the negative and the positive. So I look forward to talking to you again next week and touching base. And if you are struggling, if you're wanting to show up differently in your life and you just don't know how to, if you need some help shifting out of the negative and into the positive, don't be a stranger. Reach out. Let's connect. Until then, have a fantastic day. Bye.